Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we are going to talk about one of the most important topics in machine learning, evolution metrics for classification models. Here are the key topics we will be covering. Accuracy and accuracy in action, errors in classification model, what the terms true, false, positive and negative actually mean, why accuracy alone is not enough, recall, precision and finally a real world example. So let's get started. Let's start with the most basic evolution metric, accuracy. Accuracy simply tells us how often the model is correct. In other words, it's the ratio of correct predictions to the total number of predictions. Mathematically, it is written as accuracy equals the number of correct predictions divided by the total predictions. For example, imagine our model makes 1000 predictions and out of those, it gets 900 right. That means the accuracy is 900 divided by 1000, which equals 0.90 or 90% accuracy. So accuracy gives us a quick snapshot of how well a model is performing. Now let's look at accuracy in action with a real-world example of credit card fraud detection. Imagine we have a data set of 1000 credit card transactions. Out of these, only 20 are fraudulent, while 980 are legitimate. Now suppose we build a model that predicts every single transaction as legitimate. What happens? It correctly identifies all 980 legitimate transactions, but it completely misses all 20 fraudulent ones. So the accuracy becomes 980 divided by 1000, which is 98%. That looks really impressive at first glance, right? But here's the problem. This model is actually useless because it never detects a single fraud case. And in real life, catching those rare frauds is much more important than being correct about the common legitimate transactions. This example shows us why accuracy alone is not always a reliable measure of model performance. Now that we know accuracy alone is not enough, let's break down the types of errors in a classification model. Predictions are usually divided into 4 categories depending on whether they are correct or incorrect and whether the actual answer is positive or negative. To make this easier to understand, let's take a real-world example. An airport security scanner designed to detect bombs in bags. Here, positive means the bag has a bomb, it's dangerous. Negative means the bag is safe. Now let's go through each case. True positive. The scanner correctly flags a dangerous bag. That's great. The threat is detected and stopped. True negative. The scanner correctly lets a safe bag pass. That's just normal, safe operation. False positive. The scanner wrongly flags a safe bag as dangerous. This causes panic as delays for innocent passengers, but it's not life-threatening. False negative. The scanner misses a dangerous bag and thinks it's safe. This is the most dangerous error because a real threat gets through. So if we compare, a false positive is inconvenient, but a false negative is extremely dangerous and can even cost lives. That's why understanding these type errors is so important in classification models. Before we dive deeper, let's clearly understand what these 4 words mean: true, false, positive, and negative. Positive means the model predicts the answer is yes or that the object belongs to the target class. Negative means the model predicts the answer is no. True means the prediction was correct. False means the prediction was wrong. Now when we combine them, we get the 4 possible outcomes in any classification model. True positive, the model predicted yes and the actual answer was also yes. For example, at the airport, the scanner said dangerous bag and the bag really had danger. True negative, the model predicted no and the actual answer was also no, meaning the scanner said the bag was safe and it truly was safe. False positive, the model predicted yes but the actual answer was no. In our example, the scanner thought a safe bag was dangerous. This creates unnecessary panic. False negative, the model predicted no but the actual answer was yes. That means the scanner said a dangerous bag was safe. This is the most dangerous mistake because a real threat gets through. So in summary, true means the prediction is correct, false means the prediction is wrong. Positive or negative tells us whether the model predicts something is present or not. This framework helps us evaluate models beyond just accuracy. Let's move to the next topic, why accuracy is not enough. Now let's talk about recall. Sometimes our goal is not just to be generally correct, but to make sure we catch every single positive case. This is especially important when missing a positive can be dangerous. Take the example of a heart attack detection model. Here, a positive case means the patient is actually having a heart attack. If the model fails to detect this, that's a false negative. It could be life-threatening. On the other hand, if the model raises a false positive saying someone might have a heart attack, when they don't, it may cause stress or require extra tests. But that's still much better than missing the real heart attack. This is why Recall focuses on how well a model can identify all the actual positives, especially in situations where missing even one case could be very costly or even deadly. Now let's define recall more formally. Recall tells us how many of the actual positive cases our model is able to successfully detect. Mathematically, it is written as recall equals true positives divided by true positives plus false negatives. In simple words, recall answers this question: out of all the real heart attack patients, how many did we correctly flag? Let's compare two models. Model A has a 99% of accuracy, which sounds amazing. But notice something. It has 0 true positives and 10 false negatives. That means it missed every single real heart attack patient. Its recall is 0%. Clearly, this is dangerous. Model B has a slightly lower accuracy of 95%, but it correctly identifies 8 out of 10 real heart attack patients. That gives it a recall of 80%. This makes model B much safer even though its accuracy is lower. So the key takeaway is accuracy can sometimes be misleading while recall focuses on catching the cases that truly matter. Now that we understand recall, let's look at another important metric: precision. While recall focuses on catching all positive cases, precision becomes important when false positives are more harmful. Let's take a real-world example of fraud alert system in a bank. Here the system marks transactions as fraudulent. But what if the system wrongly flags a good customer's transaction as fraud? Their card gets blocked, which is annoying for the customer and costly for the bank. That's why banks want to minimize false alarms or false positives. This is where precision comes in. Precision tells us out of everything the model marked as fraud, how many were actually fraud. Mathematically, precision equals true positives divided by true positives plus false positives. Now let's compare true fraud detection models. Model A correctly catches 30 frauds and wrongly flags 5 good transactions. That gives it a precision of about 85.7%. Model B catches 35 frauds but wrongly flags 10 good transactions. Its precision is about 77.7%. So even though Model B catches more fraud cases, overall, Model A is actually better because it makes fewer mistakes that bother innocent customers. The key takeaway is use precision when false positives are expensive. But remember, just like accuracy and recall, precision can also be misleading. For example, a model that never flags anything would technically have 100% precision, but it would be completely useless. That's why no single metric tells us the full story. The right evaluation always depends on which types of errors matter most in your application. Finally, let's bring everything together with a real-world example, a disease detection blood test, say for diabetes. Here, positive means the patient truly has diabetes. Negative means the patient is healthy. Now imagine we test 1,000 patients and the result looked like this. True positives, 70. These are patients who really have diabetes and the test correctly says positive. False negatives, 30. These patients actually have diabetes, but the test missed them. This is dangerous because they won't get the treatment they need. False positives, 50. These are healthy patients who were wrongly told they might have diabetes. This causes unnecessary stress and extra tests. True negatives, 850. These are healthy patients correctly told they are healthy. Now let's calculate our metrics. Recall or sensitivity is true positives divided by true positive plus false negatives. That's 70 divided by 70 plus 30, which is equals 70%, meaning out of all actual diabetic patients, the test detected 70%. Precision is true positives divided by true positives plus false positives. That's 70 divided by 70 plus 50, which comes out to 58%. So out of all patients predicted as diabetic, only 58% were truly diabetic. So how do we interpret this? A high recall is important so we don't miss diabetic patients. We want to reduce false negative. A high precision is important so we don't scare healthy patients unnecessarily. We want to reduce false positives. This example shows how recall and precision balance each other and why looking at multiple metrics together gives us a much clearer picture than accuracy alone. And that's it for today's session. We started with accuracy, saw why it can sometimes be misleading, then explored errors in classification, and finally understood the importance of recall and precision with real-world examples. I hope this video helped you clearly understand these concepts. If you found it helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more such machine learning content. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye.